All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Movie Money Mashup Live. Coach David here. Coach Laura is going to be joining us soon. So excited to be here for another one of these. It's going to be super fun. I love this. I love the movie we're doing. We're going to be doing You've Got Mail today. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. And actually, while I am awaiting my good friend Laura to pop up on here, I'm going to read you a little synopsis of the movie. So let's see. It is You've Got Mail. Kathleen Kelly, played by Megan Ryan. She owns a charming little children's bookstore in New York City. And Joe Fox, Tom Hanks, is a corporate executive whose company opens a massive bookstore. And they begin anonymously corresponding via email, and they slowly are falling in love online. As their real-world rivalry intensifies, their digital relationship deepens. They go through some tough times as the truth that his business is putting her out of business comes to light. But in the end, love and second chances win out in this time capsule of a movie. All right, so let's see. So there you go. There's some thoughts. Let's see if we can get Coach Laura in here. Let's see, she should be popping up soon. But yeah, my wife loves this movie more than I do, but yeah, it is absolutely one of my favorites. And so it's super fun, and I hope you've gotten to watch it too. Just so you know, for the future, absolutely make sure that you are letting us know, what movies you'd like us to do, that you are letting us know, let's see. Coach Laura is texting me about this. But please let us know, what you would like to see in the future. And then a little secret that I'm going to be putting out soon is a link to my not so secret YouTube channel where you'll be able to watch episodes of Money Movie Mashup in case you missed this. It's going to be super exciting. So I'm going to do something fun here. I'm just going to do something fun. I'm just going to call Laura over here and see what's going on. Oh, wait a minute. I think she's coming. I think I know what I did wrong too, so I'll tell her when she gets on here. Well, hello.
Hi. That was crazy.
What? You know what I think I might have done? And I don't know why. I think I might have tried to go live 10 seconds early.
No, they won't let you do that. That's not allowed.
So I think I went almost like on a separate live that wasn't the event live. And so I had to come back out and redo it. So we're learning on the job.
Look at us. We're learning. Yay.
But I don't know if you heard, but I did the synopsis, told everybody how to, share what they want. So it hasn't been dead air, I promise.
Oh, I have so much faith in you. It's not even funny. I know that you've been rocking it out. I was like, did I do something wrong? Why can I not? So I closed everything out. I started everything over, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure, you did everything wrong. Yeah.
But it's good. It's good because what we're talking about this week is a technological advancement.
It is.
So it's fine. We're part of the cool generation now, guys.
Well, good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. So I'll let you start because I've been talking a bunch while you weren't here. I don't know what you were doing. So what are I know you have notes. So what are some thoughts about? Oh my goodness, there's a lot.
I just want to go ahead and point out that first of all, I love this movie. There's nothing about this movie that I don't love. I think I watched this movie for the first time and I was in like 7th grade. Wow. So my definition of love is Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Like that's just the perfect. I love them in Sleepless in Seattle. I love them in Joe versus the Volcano. You give me a Meg and Tom, and I'm all in.
Can I tell you? I will say, recently, my wife and I watched Sleepless in Seattle, and I just don't like that movie. Yeah, You've Got Mail is so much better than Sleepless in Seattle to me.
But it's also better for us because we kind of understand it more. Whereas Sleepless in Seattle, we're like, why can't they just Google them to find out who this person is? And that's not a thing.
Yeah.
right? Is that
Well,
time.
and actually, on a personal note, I don't know if I told you this, but my wife and I, we were pen pals for a month before we met in person.
Yes.
So I think about that when I'm watching this movie too. It's like, oh, I remember, the love writing these stupid things, and we're all like embarrassed by the cringe of our writing to each other
Oh, I'm
now
certain.
because we have our
It's
emails
cringeworthy.
saved. We have our emails saved to each other. And actually, I don't know where they are, so I need to find that.
Gotta find them.
But yeah, but I feel like there are so many ways to go about money with this movie, and I feel like I could go off the rails. So it's your job to keep us on the rails.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Since I showed up late, that's my job. So for me, one of the biggest money in your face kind of things here is the class difference. Right? We've got the one generational wealth building, we own this empire side of things. And then we have this smaller legacy that was left in the shop around the corner.
Yeah.
Right? The on both sides, they're inheriting a bookstore.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
And so we have to look at this like one, good job parents on setting up the things that are needed to inherit things. So, I'm certain there was a will. There's probably a trust set up. So if you don't have a will and trust, you need one.
There it is.
So everybody that's out there, if you love your wife and kids, get a will. So I think that's really interesting to see the similarities, but then you see the class difference on, the one side of things where it's this big giant mega store, multi-millions of dollars, and the other one where they're struggling a little bit because they're being pushed out of the neighborhood.
So here's the question, because we can go deep there, the evil of money. Because, and this isn't really shown in the movie, but I'm extrapolating from the way his grandfather is, like his character.
Yes.
He's like, like where he connects with, oh, I talked to her a while ago. She was charming. You know what I mean? Right. So that you can see that these guys have been at this for 3 generations. They probably didn't start this big either.
Right.
And there is heart there, but they're also callous because everybody hates them every 2 seconds. So then I wonder, about, we hear about it a lot from our clients is the money going to make my child evil? Is the root of evil, root of money, all that mumbo jumbo, which it's not. It's the root of all kinds of evil, not money. But so I just think there's a deep thing there where those aren't really bad guys. They're just kind of, this is the life they're living, and everybody thinks they're the bad guy and treats them that way. So they kind of are callous now.
Yes. You're right. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I treat them bad, they're going to treat me bad. Mm-hmm. So I have to hate them because they're going to hate me. And like, however you treat people is how they're going to treat you. And however you decide that you want people to treat you, you show them how to treat you. So like, there's so many philosophical ways that I can go with this, but I'm going to try and stick with the money.
Oh, of course. Well, what I mean is by the on the money portion of it is that we have both generational type wealth. One is more than another. One might have been more successful in one way or another, and you end up having the class difference. But I guess what I mean is they end up being almost like the same heart of their money, even though it went different directions. Yeah,
and they both end up, and I think that's a really good point. Tom Hanks' character ends up so kind and so generous and so thoughtful. But if you looked at him, you're like, oh, he's just for money, which is how she looks at him in the beginning when she realizes who he is. F-O-X. I thought that was so cute. When she figures out who he is, and she's like, oh, so you must be terrible. And that's why he doesn't tell her that it's him. It's like, oh, she hates me because of my money. I have to get her to fall in love with me because of my heart. Yeah. And so like sometimes we have some preconceived notions that are untrue, and we just want to go in because we're angry or we think that somebody should be a certain way. His money didn't make him a bad person. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're a bad person. And I think that the truth of the matter is he was dealt a strange hand. His brother, his dad had a little boy that is 4 years old learning how to spell the word fox, and he's a grown man, and he's like, this is my brother, because another money lesson. Money doesn't buy you love.
No.
Right?
I'm going to
the
get
dad's on
my
his
egg.
it's his fourth wife or whatever,
Yeah.
and she kicks him out, and she's like, makes him go live on his houseboat because they didn't have a connection. Money can buy you affection, and money can buy you influence, but it can't buy love. And I think that's another one of those big money lessons that you learn. It's the reason why you ended up on the houseboat.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking also about what real success looks like with money and life, because they both start the movie in other relationships.
Yes. Oh yes.
And that was just one of the best scenes. Greg Kinnear. I forget, what's the name of the other actress?
The horn is oh goodness, what is her name?
Because she was in Josie and the Pussycats too. Do you remember her teeth are all messed up?
I love Josie and the Pussycats. I wrote my thesis on Josie and the Pussycats. So yeah.
Thesis? What could that possibly be about?
Democracy in movies and the role that entertainment plays in how we view democracy.
Oh, okay. And at the end, did you put "de jour style"? Wait a minute. That'll be another week. That'll be another week.
It's a totally different movie, but love it. Love it. I'm looking her up. What is her name?
But I love that scene, when those two, they get on the talk show, right? And there's like, oh, and they're just like all about each other as soon as they meet each other. And so with that, when it comes to that success, is Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan thought they were successful. Mm-hmm. They thought where they were happy. And already, right at the beginning of the movie, Meg Ryan's going like, I'm about my job. I don't know, and Greg Kinnear's all trying
Parker Posey.
Parker Posey. It's funny. I don't think I've ever connected her name with her face that well. I've always seen that name and I've alys seen her face. Yeah. I always have to look it up. She doesn't look like a Parker Posey to me. But yeah, so they start out that way, and then they start questioning, who am I? And even it seems like Mr. Fox has been questioning that for a long time. Am I actually evil? Am I not?
Right. Yeah, no, you're totally right. It's interesting. The whole movie is a class difference. It's but it's also two people that are trying to find themselves. But I think that's what you were saying. Just like we thought we knew what we were, but we're learning new things. And I just there's a lot to love about this movie. There's a lot of positives, and I had another really good money lesson, and now I can't remember, but it has something to do with the tissue box. Hold on, I'll think about it. You keep talking.
Okay.
When he comes over to her house, and she's like trying to pick up all the tissues.
I don't know what the money lesson is, but to extrapolate from the different classes and getting into a relationship, sometimes the wife is making more than the husband, and sometimes the husband's making more than the man. They're coming from different backgrounds. How do you make a relationship work when sometimes there is a vast difference?
That is a good point. There's so many times we have these conversations with our clients where they're like, either, and we're seeing this a lot, or I'm seeing this a lot, and I can't put words in your mouth, but the woman ends up making more money than the man, and it's like, well, it's not supposed to be this way. And so then there's a power dynamic difference, and it's not she's better or he's better or right or wrong. It's just this wasn't modeled to us, so we have to figure out what we want our life to look like, not what's been modeled for us before, but what goes well for us, and how can we combine our histories, our past, so that we can have a future that we want. And part of that comes from letting go of our old money stories and the old roles that we thought we were supposed to play, and moving forward with who we want to be and what kind of values we want to have in our family. I'm trying to find my notes. I'm pulling them up on the computer.
What? They weren't ready already?
Well, no, they were on my phone, but then I forgot I had to be on the phone.
We're going to get it perfect next time. But, going with the movie, we see that, though, where, the father, he keeps getting divorced.
Yes.
And so with that, we're missing that coming together, bringing our finances and our dreams and everything together, going the same direction. Because I'll tell you, and yes, you don't need to put words in my mouth. I see this all the time. I've seen all sorts of different versions, young and old,
Right.
and there's like so many different versions of that it's just all about creating a life together. And that's where it can be challenging, but it's also about respect, that just because you don't make as much money as me, that doesn't mean you don't have as much of a say if we're going to do this together.
Doing it together. And it's the together part. So anytime people come to me and they're like, well, it's his debt or her debt, or this is my money, I'm like, whoa, hold up, we gotta stop for a second. And there's one word that comes up all the time that drives me crazy. Tell me how you feel about it. But it's the word oh no, now I forgot the word. What is it? Contribute. I don't contribute, right? Like, I need to contribute to the family. I'm like, what are you? Stay-at-home moms contribute. Just because you're not putting money in the account doesn't mean that you're not contributing to the success or failure of the family.
Yeah. I mean, just my own story in general. For many years, this is my first year getting to coach full time. For the past 5 years, I had my boys home every day. I was doing all the yard work, plus the cooking, plus the cleaning, plus doing my coaching business, plus doing their preschool. I think I was contributing. What do you think, Laura?
Yes, a lot. That's a lot. I mean, so I had a podcast that came out a couple weeks ago where we were talking about the financial contribution if you replaced a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, what that contribution would be. And I believe what they said was it's $160,000 a year. Yeah. But then you have to add in COO and CFO, right? You're the chief operation officer and the chief financial officer. That's another $220,000 that you would add in. Yeah. So that's a $380,000 salary that you're making. You're welcome, moms.
Wow. And dads. Look at that. And dads. See, look at that. Look at that. So did you find your notes?
Yes, I did. Okay. So the one lesson that we haven't talked about, because there are two, but the one that I really liked is emotional spending. So when they're out and she's mad and she starts picking stuff up and she's like picking up the daisies, right? And she's like and he's putting stuff back for her. He's like, you don't actually want to buy these things. That was one of those things where she's like, I'm going to buy daisies, right? So that tells us something about the person.
Yeah.
Also, when he's ordering his coffee, and he's very precise about how I need it like this. Right? He's very precise about how he wants this. That tells us something about the people and about the habits that we have that comes from our personality. And so it's something we don't always think about, but the way we spend our money has a lot to do with our personality. And so her emotional spending, his exact precision with his purchasing, I've been doing some thinking about our emotional identities. Okay.
Dangerous pastime.
And I think that we all have a financial animal inside of us.
Oh.
And going off of You've Got Mail, one of them is a golden retriever, which I don't know what Brinkley is. I'm sorry. Is he a golden retriever or is he like a lab? I don't know the difference between the dogs. They're all cute.
I know more about cats.
There's no different breed. Cats are all the same.
What?
They're not.
What?
I had a Maine Coon. I know they're not all the same. So I've been thinking a lot about financial identity and the way that we kind of behave. And one of the identities I've been thinking about is a golden retriever. And it's kind of that go along to get along. Like, yeah, sure, honey, whatever you say. Like that kind of idea.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm creating a quiz to find out what people's identities are.
Well,
I'll figure it out.
What would you say you are?
Well, I used to be an ostrich.
Yeah.
With my head in the sand, not paying attention to anything.
Oh, there you go.
And I would like to say that I'm now more of an owl, where I'm wise with my decision making. However, a little slow to act. So I'm gonna think on it for a while. And so there's a little bit of overthinking, overanalyzing on things.
Yeah. So I've got mine.
Yeah.
And this is because my boys and I just watched Lion King 1.5.
Oh no.
I'm such a meerkat.
Tell me more.
Well, I you know me, I'm quick. I'm very quick. And I'm just always looking for danger.
Yeah,
Always
turning
looking
your
for
head in every
danger.
direction. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
that?
I like
What's
that.
that? What's that? Always looking for danger.
I wonder if I can find my notes on that. I'm not going to waste my time looking for my notes, but I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking, of course, there's a tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. I would say I'm tortoisey, like a torm cat or a mere tortoise. Or a cat torse, or I don't know. Well, I don't even know what would work with that. I don't think you can put that together.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what you are. But this is something I've just been kind of noodling through because I think we all have our own identity, and I just like the idea of animals. So
then, what would Tom Hanks be, and what would Megan Ryan's animal be?
Oh, that's a good question. I think. Well, we know that he's a savvy investor.
Yeah. Tom Hanks seems foxy to me, actually.
Well,
probably why they named his life
foxy. That is true.
Oh no, not like that. No,
well, that's true. I think that he would be a beaver, very focused on making.
Options are there? Is the entire animal kingdom an option?
There are 10. There
are 10
options.
10. Now, did you make this up or did you get it from somewhere?
No, I've been thinking about this because I was like, oh, I'm an owl, but now I don't want to be an owl. Or I was an ostrich, and I was like, I don't want to be an ostrich. What can I be instead? Oh. So that was kind of
So is a meerkat even an option, or do I have to take another quiz?
You can be a meerkat. I'll change one of my animals if I need to.
Because I think a meerkat would be a good example for someone, actually.
I'm looking for my notes. Just keep talking.
All right. Well, real quick, my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. And I'm going to shout out to Mr. David Houston. And yes, I got your last name right. He's watching.
I get it wrong every time, David. I'm sorry. And
I know. And I make it a point now to make sure I get it right. Because I got it wrong a few times. And if anybody has any questions for us about anything about the movie, feel free to let us know. And then, of course, if you want to shout out a movie you'd like us to talk about next, let
us know. We want to know.
Yep. All right. Did you find your notes? That was it. That's all I had, Laura.
I found so here are the animal options. I'm just going to read them really quick. The owl, the beaver, which is the steady builder. That's why I was picking him for that, like, disciplined, consistent beaver. The squirrel, the oversaver. The golden retriever, the loyal co-spender. The tortoise, the elephant, the ostrich, the cricket, the chameleon, and the shark. I would say, and as much as I don't want to call Meg Ryan this, I would think that she's a bit of an avoider. She's a bit of an ostrich. She doesn't want to look at, very optimistic. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. And then when it came time to go to the mattresses.
Yeah. And that's actually a really good thing, for all those business owners out there. If you go into a business leveraging high levels of debt, and I hope it's going to work out because it's my dream. And then all of a sudden it doesn't, or it just takes one bad week and then you're in trouble. Taking your time and even working your way up. Just because you can't do your business exactly the way you want to, that doesn't mean you aren't able to start small. Say you don't have a storefront, but you have a food truck. Say you don't have a food truck, but your first investment is a vending machine. You can get those for $10,000. So many folks, they want to jump 10 steps ahead to the ultimate dream instead of taking those steps to get there. And it seems like, Meg Ryan was just kind of hoping that the push and the energy from her generational thing was going to keep going. But not to be too hard on her, but it didn't seem like she was changing with the times to keep the business relevant.
Yes. And her marketing was terrible. Just because she had a sign out doesn't mean people are going to come. And that's something people need to know when you're starting a business. Just because you put up your shingle doesn't mean people are going to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to.
And who the heck hired Steve Zahn? Come on.
Oh, y'all, this movie is perfection personified. So I think that the people that chose this movie, I thank you that you gave me an excuse to sit down and watch it again. Absolutely fabulous. I want more people to tell us more things. I want more thoughts. I want more movies. I want you guys to push us a little bit. Or just tell me another rom-com that I should watch. Go ahead and throw those in the comments.
My mom just suggested It Could Happen to You, even though she didn't remember the name of it. Oh wait, yeah, you did. It Can Happen to You. Yeah, okay, there we go. You just didn't put a comma, Mom. You got to put a comma in there. But have you ever seen that? It Could Happen to You with Nicolas Cage?
No.
Oh yeah, he's a lottery winner, and he like goes to a waitress. He's like, "I'll split this with you" or something. I don't remember exactly the movie. I'll have to watch it.
We'll have to watch it.
But about lottery, that might be fun to talk about.
We could go there. I got lots to say.
All right, my friend. Well, any final thoughts?
I don't think so. I think that we've hit the key parts of this movie that are really, really important. And I just want to ask again, anybody that's watching these or listening to these, because we're going to put them out on the interwebs, on YouTubes and stuff. So anybody that's watching or listening to this that wants to give us the name of a movie that they'd like for us, they're like, we're going to stump them. There's no money lesson in this. Please try and stump us, because we can come up with movie lessons from anything. Oh, yeah. I've heard David do this, where he pulls stuff out. I'm like, how did you come up with that?
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I'm pretty smart. No.
Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are. So, guys, try and stump us. Try to give us a movie that you don't think there's a money lesson in. We will.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, challenge. And then, yeah, absolutely. If you're not following us already, you can follow Laura on Instagram, and me as well. And you're what? Accelerate Your Legacy on Instagram? Accelerate
Your Legacy on all platforms.
Yeah. And then I'm Coach David 87 on Instagram. And then we'll be putting out, our send your comments now. We'll put out, I like challenging, so I'll give you some options. Make sure you vote on which one you want. We'll give you at least two. I mean, maybe we'll do more. I don't know. But yeah, tell us what you want. And yeah, be on the lookout for another one in 2 weeks.
All right. We'll see you guys. Bye. Bye.